In this video, I want to show you guys two teams for the Spiral Abyss that you will probably never swap out again. These two teams are the only teams that I've been using for the Abyss. I never swap anybody out. And I've been doing this for months now. So far, I haven't found any other team that performs better in the Abyss. So if you also want to clear the Abyss with the fastest time possible, because it's literally super easy, you better stick around and I will show you. But first, a word from today's sponsor. Are you done getting slapped in the face with expensive Genshin top-up prices? It's time to stop. Lootbar.gg is the platform to go to. Your cheapest and safest way to get Genesis crystals. With 20% lower prices than the official store, you can save a lot of money. The $100 pack only costs $85, and with the link below, you only pay like $81. That's like $20 saved. It is also very easy to do. You only need your user ID, your region. Then you choose a payment method, and the Genesis crystals will arrive shortly. With thousands of satisfied customer reviews, you can check it yourself, even on multiple Reddit pages. Then it is completely safe. Click the link in the description and start saving money today. I've been playing Genshin Impact since like over 1050 days, something like that. And over time, you just get very bored by using characters that just require a lot of effort by playing them. Like if you have to take care about your combos, or if you have to spam charge attacks. I want the damage to happen as fast as possible. Also, I don't like swapping teams around in the Abyss. I don't want to do that. So I've been using the same team since like over a year now. But enough talking around. Here are the two teams that I'm actually talking about. My first team is Neuvillette, Kazuha, Kuki, and Navia. And Navia is really optional here. You can also put Zhongli here. I used Zhongli before Navia came out. I just really like Navia because you can one-shot stuff very easily with her. Basically to finish off the enemies that are still alive after your rotation with Neuvillette. And Zhongli is actually a better pick for Neuvillette because he can prevent getting interrupted by using Neuvillette's charge attack. Kazuha overall just buffs up your damage a lot, and Kuki is just there for the heals and also for the elemental reactions. We all know Neuvillette requires a lot of elemental reactions, so he does more damage with his charge attack. But now I want to talk about the second team, which is Nahida, Furina, Nilou, and Baizhu. Yes, this is a Bloom team. Bloom is just exceptionally good in the Abyss. It just does so much damage when there's multiple enemies. There's basically nothing else that comes close to the damage wise, maybe Hyper Bloom or some other things, but this team is just exceptionally good. Very comfortable to play. You just use Nahida's E, Furina's E, Nilou's E, and then you just swap to Baizhu so you make sure your team doesn't die because of the Bloom damage. This team is another no-brainer. It's just so simple to use. Now you will notice that these two teams are based on Hydro damage. Since the most damage is coming from Hydro, because we have Neuvillette's charge attack, it's Hydro, and we got Furina's pets, which are also the biggest DPS in this second team. Why I'm using Neuvillette in the first team is also Neuvillette is one of the best characters in the Abyss. Let's be real here. His range is very good. He can reach so many enemies with his charge attacks. He doesn't really need to move around, and it's just super useful. But you basically stand in the middle there and you just charge attack and everything just dies. One very nice rotation that I have is using Neuvillette's E, then swap to Kazuha to swap the Hydro, to swirl the Hydro, so you get the Bury the Scan bonus damage. Then just swap to Kuki, and you can also ult with Navia. So what I will do is basically shoot the two E's out from Navia, get them right out of the bat, which just puts out a lot of damage immediately, because you will not swap to Navia for a long time with this team. So you can make sure that you use her cooldowns completely, and then you swap to Neuvillette, because Neuvillette is gonna be the on fielder for most of the time. So you do like this whole rotation, and when you're out of balls with Neuvillette, which, you know, his E makes balls and his ult makes balls, to say it simple. When you're done with all the balls, you just swap to Navia, and then you probably will have the max stacks on her E ability, and you will just shoot out 200k crits, sometimes 130k crits, really crazy high crits, which will help you for the bigger enemies or to just finish off enemies when you're out of balls. It's such a nice team. I love this team. Now sometimes you will get interrupted with Neuvillette, but that's basically just skill issue, because you should know as a good player when to use the charge attack and when not to use it. But hey, I still get interrupted sometimes, so yeah, I'm not a perfect player either. You can of course put in Zhongli instead of Navia, and this will help you a lot, but you're gonna miss out on the 200k crits from Navia from time to time, which are sometimes required for the higher stages. With the second team, it's also very easy. You use Nahida's E, spin around, hit as many enemies as possible with Nahida's E. Then you swap to Furina, use her pets, her E ability, so you get the pet damage immediately. And then you will do the dance with Nilo, basically spamming the E button. And then you basically have all the requirements for the big damage numbers, and you can swap to Baiju just to make sure that you stay alive. Baiju is also useful to just use his normal attack sometimes because it is Dendro, and it will also put out some bloom damage from time to time. And that's basically what you do with these two teams. It's very easy to use. Now, I mentioned before that sometimes you will have these enemies that are immune to hydro damage. And that's the biggest problem that you will have with using these two teams. But I'm like stubborn. I will not swap out any of these characters, as I said. What I said earlier is that you will use the Dendro team, the bloom damage team, for these type of enemies. It is also very important to know that you need Nilo for these teams. The other members aren't as important. You can swap out maybe Baiju with Barbara. You can swap out Furina, of course, if you want to, with another Hydro or Dendro user. But ultimately required for this team is Nahida, because she just puts out so much damage. And Nilo, just because of the golden bounty buff that she gives. Ultimately, for people that don't know what Nilo does, her dance basically makes the blooms explode faster and do more damage. And I know these two teams are not free-to-play friendly, and this is not really what the video is also about. I know some of the characters you actually can swap out. As I said, there's many possibilities, but I just think Cookie is also very good for keeping your team alive. She's one of the best healers in the game, also her reactions are great. If you have C6, it will also help you a lot, because she can't die basically. And yes, it requires some 5-star characters to be this powerful in the game. You can do all the Abyss with that. One issue I had was with one type of enemy only, the Hydro Herald, where you basically have to destroy this blue bar, right? Where you have to use either a cryo unit or something else. But these enemies are also quite rare in the Abyss. And yes, these two teams are my favorite teams. They're just so easy to use, so comfortable. They don't require a lot of effort. It's just literally elemental skill spamming. Ults aren't very important, but the most important things are of course Nouvelette's charge attack and Nilo's dance and Nahida's E. That's basically it. And these two teams have been the most amazing teams that I've found so far for the Abyss. I've been clearing all the Abysses so far. I'm very curious how our Netland is gonna change the meta. I'm pretty sure something is gonna happen. Maybe we will get a Pyro meta, because we are lacking some Pyro units that are powerful right now. Since Dendro and Hydro literally power crapped all the other elements, to be honest. Of course also Electro, but yeah, that's another topic for another video. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video and it was helpful, let me know in the comments. Also, let me know in the comments if you have also two teams that you've been using for years or months and you never swap them out because you're too lazy like me. I'm very curious if there's maybe a more powerful team that I've been overseeing. So let me know in the comments. Thank you guys for watching this far. Give this video a thumbs up, as I said, and subscribe if you want to see more Genshin. I see you hopefully in the next video. Bye bye.